Saturday saw one of the most thrilling AFL grand finals ever played when St Kilda and Collingwood drew before more than 100,000 people at the MCG. There have only been 3 drawn finals in 112 years of competition, and Australia's foremost historian, Geoffrey Blaney, says it reflects the brilliance of our Indigenous game. Now the grand final will be replayed this coming Saturday. That means a financial windfall for the AFL and many businesses, but inconvenience for others, as Hamish Fitzsimmons reports.
The week after the AFL Grand Final is triumphant for some and bitter for others. But today, they're all in football limbo.
Australian rules is a wonderful game. I think it's one of the great games of the world, and we should be proud as Australians that we've invented it. It's passing through a golden phase. One doesn't know whether it will last, but you know, a lot of people are overjoyed that there's one more match for the season.
That's part of football. I was at the 77 drawn one. I had to go back to see them get beaten, so let's hope it's a different result this time.
I'm a fanatic. This will be my 54th in a row.
People began queuing for tickets almost as soon as the game was over. But there was confusion about when and how they would go on sale.
That was the impression we got, that we could line up and get tickets, but there seems to be a lot of confusion right around the place at the moment.
The AFL stands to make millions from the replay, and it says it's doing its best to make tickets available to everyone, including more tickets for St Kilda and Collingwood members, as well as tickets for people who may not ordinarily be able to afford the inflated prices of a grand final.
People who might be doing it hard, and hopefully we can make sure so that there's some tickets available for those people.
In Melbourne, many lives resume normal activity on the first weekend in October, but not this year. An A-League soccer derby has been rescheduled, as has horse racing, and house auctions are also being rearranged.
Certainly 50 are off the list from what we started with on the weekend. Already 10% have shifted their auctions, and I expect we'll see a few more tonight, tomorrow, as agents and their vendors make that decision.
Other businesses are in for a grand final windfall.
It's amazing. I think my bar staff noticed on Saturday that I was the only person in the venue jumping and cheering when there was a draw. Because we'd already realised that if we had a rematch, we would have another big day.
There have been 2 drawn grand finals since 1898. In 1948, Melbourne and Essendon drew, and Melbourne won that rematch. And in 1977, North Melbourne and Collingwood were level at the final siren. North then beat Collingwood a week later. Australia's preeminent historian and football fan, Emeritus Professor Geoffrey Blaney, knows something about drawn games.
Well, by chance I've been to all the 3 drawn grand finals. In 1948 I was a student at the university and I saw Melbourne play Essendon.
Professor Blaney has written extensively about the game and says due to its high scoring, tied matches are rare.
There's great excitement in Australian rules when there is a drawn game. People are astonished that it should take place, and that was true of last Saturday afternoon. People were actually numb.
St Kilda has just 1 premiership to its name and Collingwood has 14. But few of those have been in the last 50 years, despite playing in several finals. That's given rise to the term the Collywobbles. From
the 1960s onwards, Collingwood got into grand final after grand final, but didn't do anything with it, except I think in 1990. You know, once a team builds up a reputation for failing at the last minute, it's very hard to get over it.
For now, the rewind button has been hit on another week of anticipation. Hamish Fitzsimmons, Late Line.